Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and this is part 2. This is only going to be about cleaning up this font, so it doesn't really have anything to do with the previous text of path. And you would not want to do this for a whole font, for a lot of words, but for 4 letters, you could do it quite easily. It is a font called Ming and Bling. I got it on DA fonts. Somebody was already using it. So what we need to do is go to Object and convert this to a curve. And then several ways we can do this. This is over 10 inches big, so let's set our nudge factor on 11. And we're just going to take the inside of the font, which is clear, which is transparent. And that's the basis of the font. And then let's left click, right click. And you can see all the faults with it. Several ways you could do it. Select it all, and first of all, sometimes you have to, let's select it, then select it, and then right up here, type in 20. Let's go back. That has 184 nodes. I'm going to type in 20. Now there's only 68 nodes. A lot better already, just a little bit jagged, but several ways you could do it. Leaving the corners, the font's going to look the same. We're not going to really change the font. I'm not going to, clean it up that much. And you might not want to clean it at all. I mean, I said in the first video that that's personal preference. But we're straightening out the lines a little bit. But it's still a cool font. So I wouldn't do any more. Maybe look at that right there and hit delete. Now you could also use the smoothing tool, but that might change the font. I'm going to do 2 letters. You don't have to do this part if you're going to delete fonts or delete nodes, but it makes life a little easier. Just be careful when you're on a turn. See it change that font. Well, just put it back a little bit. I'm going to show you the difference between these 2 fonts when we're done. And showing, like that, you could move it back a little bit. And you could take your time. Like if you move that, probably going to change that. So just take away one of the nodes. It doesn't change it. Take away that node, it changes it. So you're going to have to leave it. Now that node we could probably change. These 2 nodes, there's 2 nodes on top of each other. So let's just stay with those 2 letters. Now they have a outline that is somewhat thicker. And since we're so big, it's going to take not quite 12 points. Let's go 10. Nope, not. Let's go 8. So there's kind of the font. It is transparent. But then what you want to do is make a duplicate and nudge that over and fill it in with black. Actually take away the outline. And then you could literally, well, you know what? That's not going to work because the font is transparent. Let's do this. Let's leave it the outline. Let's make the outline red so we can see the outline. And we're just going to make that shadow right now. So what we can do is let's take the red and go to Object and put it to the back of page, even though that really doesn't matter. And I might be a little bit off on the shadowing. Let's take the nudge factor, set it on something light. I really want to grab both of them and just nudge them over a little bit. Let's make the shadow not quite as thick. Then just take your Smart Fill tool, set it on black, and I would nudge, well, remember we got our nudge factor set low, let's set it back on 2. I would nudge that shadow out of the way. So Smart Fill anywhere where there should be a shadow. See, that's why I did it red. And really, I'm not nudging it over far enough. But hopefully our black, yes, our black letters are still good. Now we can nudge the red ones down. See, there's our shadow. And because this is a clear font, we don't want anything in those boxes. There's almost the same font. Let's just test it with the yellow box trick. Now, like I said at previous, don't do this for the whole alphabet, but I want you to look how rough that is and how smooth mine is. And I could, there's still a few spots in there that could be cleaned up. And you could make the shadow bigger or smaller. Now, with that said, you can't text it to path anymore, but you could do that afterwards. You could do the exact same thing I just did with the shadow and everything after it's text to path, because you're just going to fill those in and nudge them out. Anyway, I hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.